Hey, welcome to Planet Hex. I'm Andrew Horn. As you just saw with the opening card there, and this above me here, I now have over 500 subscribers, so thank you so much for everyone that's checking this out. This just started as a bit of fun during lockdown, as many channels did, and it's just been a pleasure making this stuff for you. Yeah, I'm niche, about as niche as it gets, all VHS tapes and things like that, but it's really, really fun to do this for you guys. So thank you to everyone that is here, and I do hope you'll stick with me for what is to come over the next few months. So, what is coming over the next few months? Well, the first thing that is coming up is Tape Stock on the 5th of October at the 80s Video Shop in Alfreton. Yes, I mention that place a lot, but I do adore that place. So, Tape Stock 2, I will be there. I will have a table there, and that's from, is it noon? I think it's noon. Yes, noon till late on October the 5th, a Saturday. Tape Stock 2 at the 80s Video Shop in Alfreton. So that is the 80s Video Shop, 11 King Street, Alfreton, DE557AF. I will have both vhsatatemybrain at the revised edition and vhsatatemybrain 2 there. If you would like to get your copy, and I would love to meet you there, it'd be awesome to meet any of you and just hang out and talk tapes. It's good to talk movies with people that, you know, like-minded individuals. Before we get on today's subject, I want to show you something I picked up today from a charity shop for 30p, which I thought was a pretty good result. It's not a tape, not a book, not a comic or a CD, it's a vinyl. It's the soundtrack to Stand By Me. And normally in charity shops here, vinyl is Perry Como, James Galway, lots of Harry Seacombe and lots of classical. But I found the soundtrack to Stand By Me, which I'm very pleased about. Great film. It's got some stills from the movie on the back there. And it's just got some great tracks, and it's got Buddy Holly on it. It's got the Cordettes, it's got Jerry Lee Lewis, and of course it's got Benny King doing Stand By Me. So I'm going to give that a spin after I finish this for you guys this evening. What have I been doing? Last night I was in Derby. I'm very tired still. I was in Derby playing a concert as guitar player for Jan Doyle Band. So that was fun. I've done a bunch of these gigs now, and they are always fun, but by crikey, I feel the effects the day after. Not just from the imbibing of fluids, but from just being incredibly old. A very, very old person there, so I'm just very tired, really. So, I'm going to talk tonight about what would be in my ideal video store. Now, the obvious answer is just the 80s Video Shop. But while I do love the 80s Video Shop very dearly, if I ever were to open one myself, if I were to create one myself just for my own entertainment, there would have to be certain things within it. So, of course, the first thing that would have to be in it would be lots of VHS tapes. Mainly horror, sci-fi and comedy for me, and some action movies, some martial arts in there. Got to have tapes, and they would have to be big box. None of the mass market ones. I have nothing against those, but I do prefer big box. So it always has to be the big box ones, the nice oversized cases that I remember from the rental days. And of course, that would be the preference of many collectors. Not always very easy because the prices of these things are going crazy, but you know, we have to want these things to make it worth our while. So I've been looking at trying to find some retro stuff online to show you from various video stores, and a lot of the things that come up are Blockbuster, but I preferred Ritz. Blockbuster seemed to just kind of kill everything. It became too, you know, overbearing. 80 copies of Pearl Harbor or whatever, but with Ritz it was a chain, but it was kind of smaller. It felt a lot more English in the sense of being a bit rubbish, but we loved it anyway. So Ritz had something that a lot of places did not have, and that was the Ritz magazine. So I was a big fan of the Ritz magazine. I do have a picture of it in some of these, in one of these somewhere. We'll come to it anyway. But they had a magazine that talked about new releases, upcoming stuff. It had posters and ads and stuff in it, and it was really exciting. So I would always pick up a Ritz when I got to the video store. I usually went to the video store, the Ritz, with my dad. There was a Ritz near his house, so when I would be at my dad's for weekends, we'd go to Ritz and get an action movie or some comedy or something like that. Usually something along the lines of like Romancing the Stone, Big Trouble in Little China, Raiders of the Lost Ark, that sort of stuff. So it's something for everyone in those movies, I feel, when we were having like an evening in. So what else would I need? I would also need, as pictured here, a rack of snacks. you would have to have some decent snacks and some decent drinks. So there have to be something savoury, something sweet, and lots of cold carbonated beverages. So it would have to be like a big bag of, big bag of Max or something like that, the McCoy's, or popcorn, or not that I really have popcorn anymore. I just get stuck in my teeth. I haven't seen it. So that's a sign of my age, my advancing years. I complain about getting stuff stuck in my teeth. But you'd have to be something savoury, something sweet, maybe chocolate, bag of Maltesers. Maltesers would be perfect. And then something ludicrously unnaturally coloured, like a big 2-litre bottle of full sugar iron brew. That would work for me just fine. Not that I did that all that often. Actually, I did. I did that a lot. I had 2-litre bottles of iron brew quite often growing up. So it's amazing I have any teeth left at all. So I'm very pleased about that. Don't have all of them, but I've got most of them. So I've found a bunch of retro pictures of retro video stores from around the internet. Some of them are classic photos. Some of them are from like recent stores. There are other places out there other than 80s Video Shop that do have a retro feel, but it just brings it back. It brings it back, hanging out, spending all that time in there, watching the things like the trailer tapes they would have on in the corner. So I would need to have a TV playing constant trailers in there. Now here's where I would bow to the modern age a bit. Not just would I have a TV playing trailers, I would have it linked to a hard drive playing compilations of trailers, so I would never have to really change the tape. So I would cheat a bit there, because I would have to change those rather a lot otherwise. And I would have lots and lots of posters. There would be movie posters for all kinds of titles. There's a Labyrinth one in that one. There would be horror and comedy action movies. There'd be some dramas, probably covered up by other things. But I would probably also go for like postcards, stickers, comic books, things like that. My dream my dream video store would have a chill out area. There would have to be a big sofa surrounded by movie magazines like Fangoria, Gorezone, Starlog. What else could I have in there? Starburst, that would be a good one. Impact. Does anyone remember Impact magazine? The action movie magazine. That was so good. I got a real fix of stuff starring Cynthia Rothrock, Olivia Gruner, Gary Daniels, stuff like that back in the day. So I'd have a reading area. You could chill out there with some snacks. Maybe a large pull-down projector. We could project something on there in the evenings, sell tickets, that sort of thing. That just sounds awesome to me. That does remind me of the movie, was it Talking to the Detectives? I think it was Talking to the Detectives with Lucy Liu and Cillian Murphy in it, where Cillian Murphy plays a guy running a rental store, and it has lots of nods to old classic films in it. It's not very well known, that film, but I do look it up. I think it's either Talking or Walking with the Detectives. Lucy Liu, Cillian Murphy. That's got a lot in there for the avid film lover, and someone missing old rental stores where you could literally hang out and watch stuff together. So this is from a great piece here over on Medium about rewinding back to the VHS days. So that photo is from this piece on Medium. I do recommend you check this out. Tales from the 80s Video Store Culture. Great piece over on Medium. So this is not a very big image. Not the clearest image here, but this is one of the only ones I could find of inside a Ritz store. So as I mentioned, Ritz was a chain, much like Blockbuster, but less kind of corporate feeling. It felt a little bit more low-key and homemade, and that's with much of the things in England at the time, a little rough around the edges. It makes me think of going to places like Tandy and Beatty's and Rumbelows, and everything being slightly knackered around the edges, and that was part of the appeal for me for Ritz. They also had a lot of horror movies. They had a lot of B movies, unlike Blockbuster that would just have 1,000 tapes of Titanic or whatever and very little else. But this is the sort of place that I would find a lot of cool stuff in. I will always prefer the independent places. My favourite of all time will be Metro Video in Mailing Bridge in Sheffield. So that's the one I spent so many years in. But I like the feel. So what I would take from Ritz for my perfect video store would be a colour scheme. I think like the red and yellow goes together for the VHS era. It kind of leaps out like VHS art. So that would be what I would take away from Ritz Video. What else have we got here? See, this is what I would not do. Blockbuster, I would not do anything like Blockbuster. Now, I do get nostalgic for Blockbuster stuff when I saw things like The Last Blockbuster, the documentary. That was really cool. And it did make me think, kind of miss all that. So I probably will get one of their shirts at some point, but I wouldn't go for that sort of corporate look. This is more like it. Nice indie place, global video, and you posters in the windows. You could see it's going to have some snacks in there, possibly almost out of date, you know. It's going to have a lot of tapes in there, well used, well loved. That's the sort of place I would want. There's a small Ritz here. Look at how boxy that car is. That is incredibly boxy. But you can see there's tapes floor to ceiling. There's posters on every available inch. It's just magnificent, and I would absolutely lap that place up. There's the Ritz sign. I just got nostalgic for that. So another global video shot there. I miss these things, but again, it takes me back to the 80s video shop because this is the closest I've got anywhere nearby to my ideal video store. So it would be lots of films, good colour scheme. I'd go for the red and yellow. There'd be lots of posters everywhere. I'd have a seating area. There would be snacks. There would be comics. There would probably be a retro video game console or two hooked up to a TV in there, just for people to chill out in. Would I ever do this? I don't think so. I have plans for a space at home, a new space outside, but it would be like a private thing. But if I ever were to do something like that, would I rent? I don't know. I'd probably sell like DVDs or anything, but the VHS thing would stay there, and maybe you could rent out a viewing room, something like that. Is there a market for it? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. There are retro places around, such as 80s Video Shop, that are proving that people do have an appetite for this stuff, but I don't think I could personally manage to keep a place open. I'm just too ADHD, you know. But what I did create when I wrote VHS Ate My Brain 2, The Revenge, you see there's a nice little link to the new book there, is a place called Video Variety. So this would be my ideal video store. This is what I imagine. So it would be called Video Variety. It would have posters, it would have big stickers everywhere, it would have the tapes and all the stuff you could relax around. And the intention would be to spend a bunch of time there, spend a bunch of time, hang out around the movies, watch all the trailers, maybe craftily watch a movie in the corner, play some games, have some snacks, talk to me, you know, just hang out. And this is the thing that I miss most. With internet culture is great in many ways. It's brought me to many people's eyes. It's brought my books to many people's eyes. I've found this great community of VHS fans online, but what it has not got is a chill out area or a room I can just hang out for ages. And that's like kind of one of the main things I miss about that era, is the ability to be there. So that's what I would do. That's what I do in my ideal video store. If you want to tell me what you would do in your ideal video store, please do comment down below. I always love seeing those comments, and I'll always respond to those. So thank you very much for joining me for this journey around my ideal video store. Basically, I just want somewhere I can chill out. I think if it was the actual dream place, I'd put a pool table in there somewhere as well. Stand-up arcade cabinet, drinks machine, vending machine with Quattro in it, and marathons. And Tizer. Okay, now I'm just sounding like an old man shouting at clouds, but that's what we do here. But yes, that's my little tour around what I would put in my ideal video shop. Thank you again to everyone for subscribing and hanging out and sticking with me. This is really, really cool of you. Look out for some videos on the event at Tape Stock 2 over on October the 5th. I'll try and get something up the day after. It won't be that night. It won't be that night because they'll be traveling and packing and sweating on transport and things like that. So yeah, look out for that the day after that. But there will be some stuff before that then anyway. I'm Andrew Horn. I write books about tapes and people read them, and I'm really amazed. Thank you. And thank you for watching this episode of Planet Hex.